Hello and welcome to this video on the impact of changing ICT on promotional techniques. Are you still there? Okay, so advertising. ICT developments have led to online advertising to have a much bigger impact on market segments, and especially younger market segments, because people spend more time online on their phones and computers and everything like that. So companies think, okay, let's spend more money on advertising here online than previously. For example, if there was an ad before this video, don't think there was, but there was, then you would see that, well, that's an ad, but like that ad is costing around maybe 0.005. Obviously that's not what the creator gets, because there's like all these cuts, processing platforms, banks, charges, this, that, the other. So then the line's like 0.01, no, 0.001 after that, but you know what I mean. The point is that an advert is generally relatively affordable, because online it's just a bunch of like pixels that are put together to show your advert. But in paper form, you actually have upfront costs. That the paper itself, though, of course, is that like if you advertise a newspaper, you're advertising there, but you'd advertise a newspaper because you want localized kind of ads. But you don't want just localized ads, you want ads that are specific to an area that you want really to sort of drive into people's minds, instead of just having a general ad. But obviously the internet has had a massive impact on advertising. Next, of course, you have public relations. You see, ICT has allowed companies using social media sites to interact with customers and enhance their image by being endorsed for people with lots of followers. And obviously that is sometimes a bad thing, because some bad companies are able to easily get people with a lot of followers to, endorse them, because all they have to do is give them money. And obviously, while it may seem like, oh, this person has a lot of followers, they really believe in this thing, sometimes that person is really just in it for the money. Other times, I'm not saying that's all the time, other times it's they really, really do believe in the company, and other times, sometimes they're just using their position to actually show a really good company. Just beware if you are a follower of someone with a big amount of following. Like if someone has over, I'd say 100,000 followers, then be aware that bigger companies begin to sort of come around there. Obviously, sometimes lower down you'll have just outright scams, but other times big companies that might not be so good. Sometimes it's all these sort of areas there we have to be aware of online, that companies can use. It's helpful for companies, not so helpful for consumers though. ICT developments have also allowed for a much wider range in the old share and win type of competitions, because social media can cause the sort of thing where you can have sort of rising companies asking people to sign up for newsletters to receive discount codes. These techniques can set up sales because they collect data. Because when you say, okay, I'm going to set up this newsletter, and then you get emails, whatever the case may be, obviously, sometimes all you'd have to do is just go unsubscribe afterwards. But, if you were able to do that, then, that's good. But if you're not, then you'll get a lot of adverts, and then some people will be more likely to buy the product and all those sort of things. They're all methods that ICT has been expanded sales promotions. Now, there have also been a rise in sort of pop-up adverts when people visit websites. And because of ICT, you're able to get personalized ads. Now, sometimes these ads are, a bit lacking in their own personal connection to you. Some ads are very general, but that's just because they may not have been set for specific people. Other times, there can be weird ads, and ads that don't really affect you. There's certain products that are of no use to you. But that's sometimes just a problem. I mean, you'll find that that's an issue that a lot of TV advertisements used to have. Some still do, which is that if you go back in the day, well, you can't specifically advertise to a specific section. I mean, technically, you might be able to advertise in a specific network, but then that, then you might not get access to the same level of people, and that's the thing. Next, you have personal selling. You see, thanks to ICT, salespersons can now have iPads or tablets with them on the shop floor or, online to illustrate their products and services in action. As I said, they can also use live chat on websites to interact directly with customers and each other or managers on the internet. This means that people can actually work from home rather than being working in an office, which can, of course, decrease the amount of money you spend. Because if you have, basically, first of all, there's two things which this is going a little bit off topic, but basically there are two sort of areas you've got here, which is cost of renting in a city so that you get to work on time, or in a town, whatever it can be, is colossal. So if you can move out of a city to an area that has low rent, or if you do have a good credit standing and you're able to get a mortgage, because obviously you won't get a mortgage you're unlikely to get a mortgage for an apartment in a city, because it costs millions. But if you live outside the city, then it can cost significantly less. And the point is that it can mean that you are able to afford to go to work. That can mean that you can have difficulty going to work. But if you have this sort of thing where ICT helps you go, no, you don't need to go directly to a workplace, because of ICT, you can actually do that job via live chat. That means you can be at home, and it means you don't have to spend so much money on transport as well. So that can cut down costs for employees significantly. And that can mean that it can save the business money. Because let's say originally an employee spends roughly about, let's say $1,000 just so that they can use it, just so they can go to this job. That means that that business can then spend less than $1,000, technically paying them. It's a bit dodgy, but it just means the business is able to cut down costs for employees. And if business is able to cut down costs for employees, obviously, I mean, I'm gonna be looking at the overall, home pay when I'm finished after paying all the things I need to do to work, like tax, transport costs, all sorts of things involved in actually getting to work. You take those away first, and then you go, okay, now this is how much money I have left for food and everything else. That's how much you'd be thinking. So if that is higher, then yeah, you'd most likely be more satisfied with that, even though technically it could still be less. It's just that business is offering you a ICT type of position. So I know this video was a very short one. Sorry about that. Some of these videos can be a little bit short because they're, unlike other content, they're not really, unlike history, they're kind of divided. Well, even history is it's divided into topics. So, this is the next time we'll be looking at a new topic, or, a topic that's related to this, and it just means that, you can have this sort of system. So, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel, and please do view other videos, and if, when the next video comes out, you might want to view that, who knows. Please, if you're not gonna, sort of subscribe or anything like that, or view other videos, or actually, subscribe, you can, if you can subscribe and then just leave. But, if you're not gonna view other videos or come back next time, or come back another time, then I guess, well, enjoy the rest of your existence, I guess. And, well, bye, I mean, yeah, I guess that's it, yeah, bye, really. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video now. Bye-bye.